Hola, soy Magali Gutiérrez, productora del Festival Stop Motion México, y les doy la bienvenida a otro día más de actividades. Damos inicio el día de hoy con una masterclass, Alternativas del Financiamiento con estudio Croma Animation. También nos acompaña Marilu Carrillo, quien es diseñadora y animadora, nos ayudará con la traducción. Ella es también parte del festival. Hola Marilu, muy bienvenida.
Gracias, buenos días.
Gracias. Voy a comenzar a leerles un poquito de lo que hace Estudio Croma. Ellos son de Italia. Es un colectivo y una casa productora de cine independiente centrada en cortometrajes, videos musicales y publicidad en animación stop motion. Actualmente están en campaña de crowdfunding para su siguiente proyecto. Nos acompañan Ariana Geller y Matteo Burane. Bienvenidos.
Hi everyone.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Hi. Bueno, yo les dejo para que ustedes platiquen y regreso al final para despedirlos. Gracias.
Hello guys.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone. So if you want to start, Ariana, maybe.
For the first, we are super glad to be here. So thank you for this invitation, for these opportunities that you are giving us. So I'm Ariana Geller and
I'm Matteo Burane.
Yes. So nothing. I'm Ariana Geller. I'm Italian stop motion author, and I was born initially for stop motion animator and puppet maker and post producer. But 5 years ago, I have met Matteo, and we co-found Studio Croma Animation, which is a Italian company. And we work mainly in the animation field, in the cinema field, and we make commercial stop motion video clip, also, and short film. At this point, I'm taking care even about artistic direction of our project here in Italy. And what can I say? I love my job.
Yes, I love my job too, but sometimes this job can make you a little bit tired. Mm-hmm. But we love our job too. So I'm Matteo Burane, and I've started to working in a stop motion animation 10 years ago. So basically, when I come out to the high school, I start. And I'm born like a puppet maker because I love making puppets. If you see on my back, if you see,
we have a lot of puppets.
A lot of puppets, yes. So I have worked on several stop motion animation film, short film, and video clips and commercial, of course. And so after that, I've started to research another way to express myself. So I've started to study direction and script writing. And so basically, this is the way when Playing God short film is born. And we want to talk about our short film, Playing God, now in the production phase. Mm-hmm. And so what do you have to say? Playing God short film. So what is Playing God? Playing God is a 13 minutes animation short film told through the art of stop motion. So basically it's a stop motion short film. It's a very ambitious project. Mm-hmm. And we are glad to talk with you about. And but before talk about the short film, we can show maybe the teaser, because we have a teaser of this short film. So show the teaser, we can show.
Marilu?
We can show the teaser of the short film? Yeah, let's go. Yeah. So the short film is born for the stop motion fans in some ways. This short film is a short film for puppet makers, for for stop motion audience, for adult audience also. And it's not how can I say? The story talk about the creation of a clay creature about from a sculptor, and the short film talk about life in some ways, and talk about social exclusion, and is not easy to produce a film like that, because we have started with this short film in a naive way. How can I say? We have started this short film with the idea to make a 2-minute short film in the beginning. And during our process, we have evolved this project. So now we have 13 minutes short film. But we want to talk maybe first about the techniques of the short film, because this is a very ambitious point of this work. So if you want to talk about maybe the techniques.
Yes, basically it's a puppet short film, but all the puppets that we have, all the puppets here, are covered entirely with clay. So it's basically a puppet short film, but inside I can recognize even other 2 kinds of techniques, like clay animation and pixelation, because one of the characters is a human being, a real human being. So this is an ambitious project even for that, because matching 3 different type of techniques is not so easy, because like you can imagine every kind of techniques has their process, a different process, and different problems to resolve, and it's not easy to match every these 3 different kinds of techniques. So we started maybe 4 years ago trying this kind of animation, and yes, was a little difficult.
Yeah, it was a little difficult. Because, at the beginning, we don't have perfectly understand how much difficult it is.
Yes.
But because at the beginning, it's just like to make a puppet animation short film with clay. Because I want to show you maybe, because this is the first character over there. This is the first character you see is a very huge puppet.
It's a huge puppet and covered entirely by clay.
Inside of this, there is a ball and socket armature for all the movements, and yes, basically the main challenge of this short film is to animate these puppets and shape frame by frame the clay for making the perfect shape, because you want to achieve a very realistic look,
So during animation, I have to move this puppet and all the puppets in the scene. We have like 2,000 characters.
Yeah.
Right. So
we have a lot of puppets in the short film. But of course, the most of the puppets are not animable, are just backgrounds. We work basically in the short film are just 20 or 30, I think, puppets, clay puppets we move. Are the same characters, but the rest are just the scenography or just the backgrounds. Yes. For example, those puppets over there you see, it's just an animate puppet, but it's just for the backgrounds.
So during animation, I have to move this male character, but even others puppet. So it's not so quickly processed, because I have to move this, and sometimes the plasticine crack, so I have to sculpt every single frame, his body, and I have to smooth the plasticine, and sometimes I have to move even the pixelation actor.
Oh, this is another very big problem we have to talk about, but just shortly, because be a human actor, a human pixelation actor, is very, very difficult and it's a very painful process.
It's a painful process.
Yes, because if you want to achieve, maybe you have seen the teaser, there is some scene for sculpting the body, And these are only a little scene because we have to shoot the scene with all the full body. And we don't know now how we can achieve this. Because for achieve the scene, maybe we have to sculpt. I have just rigging my hand with aluminum wire for taking still my hand all the time. And it's very painful because we have to stay 1-2 hours maybe on the set, totally still with the hands, totally still over there. And when you finish the day of shooting, maybe 8-9 days of shooting, hours of shooting for one scene maybe, you just turning out your rig and your body's crawling down, you know, because it's very, very difficult.
It's totally exhausted in some ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the process, and it's so long. Sometimes I use like maybe 40 minutes for doing one frame, for example.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So you can imagine this process is so expensive. It's expensive both for money and times. So for this, we are launching now a Kickstarter campaign because we have already the 50% of the budget, and we have achieved 50% of the production pace, like animation. But now this year we want to finish this project. So
That's right.
yes.
But first of all, I want to speak maybe a little about the problem we have found to produce this film, because this is our Kickstarter page, and we want to make this Kickstarter for found the money for finish the film, because this was a self-financial film for the most part of the production, for cover the most part of the money of the production, because it was very, very difficult to find a producer, to find someone believe in the story, believe in this aesthetic also, because this is a dark drama in some ways. It's a very dark short film, and with a strong story, with strong images, and we had to very difficult to find someone believe in this project. And of course, this is our first project in some ways, because at the beginning we was working with some production here in Italy for develop different video clips, different short film, but this is our first self-producing short film. So this is a kind of our last chance, you know, for finish this film. And so of course we are working on this with 4 years for making this film, and we are growing with this film. Of course, we have grown professionally. We have growing like artisan, like a stop motion authors. We have learned a lot of stuff about this project, and we really can't wait to finish this short film for show to the community this product. So so this is our Kickstarter page. We will go online on November if you want to check. But let's talk maybe a little bit about the project. We can see the video, something regarding the video. If you see, this is a really nice time lapse about our shooting. You see how many puppets inside. So this is a very nice, cool pixelation scene. I remember that scene so much.
So as you can see, there are a lot of puppet animation, but even some clay animation, because as you can see at the end of this video that you find in our Kickstarter campaign, our presentation, there are a lot of morphing inside this short film. It's for that I talk about clay animation, even clay animation, because there are some parts that where the body of this character change his shape in some way. So there is also clay animation for that, right?
Yeah. There is, in fact, there is a very special part inside the short film when the main character starts growing and it's creating by the hands of the sculptor. And this part, those part is very, very cool because it's full of clay shape in some ways. And of course, all the short film is based with a strong emotion. The main character, we are totally in about the emotion of the character because it's the main focus of the short film. We need to cry with the character. We have to enjoy with the character, and we are really happy about the results because with clay animation, in some ways, using clay animation, yes, it's a very expensive. It's a very time expensive techniques in some ways at this level, but also you can how can I say, you can transmit a very difficult emotion,
a very deep emotion.
A very deep emotion, yes, because it's you sculpt frame by frame, you know. It is not just like a face substitution. It's just like to put yourself in the sculpture inside, and feel the emotion, feel the clay, put yourself inside in some ways during the animation. So it's very difficult to express this concept because I'm not Ariana is the animator of the short film, so but we are all together all the time. We cry together about this project. We enjoy together. So I see a very crazy stuff about the animation process of this project, and I really love to share this impression I had. I was, yeah, very, very, very strong. And so yes, basically this is our project talk about, and yes, the character inside. Maybe I want to talk about a little about the structure of this character inside, because this is the main character, but it's just a maquette in some ways. We have to show maybe here, for example, this is a very professional puppet armature, and will be the armature for the main character when we have to working on with the main character, because now we are shooting all the face, all the portrait of the main character, of course. The scene we need to shoot is the full body scene. We don't have shoot the full body scene now, but we have to shoot in the next time. So this will be the armature for the main character. It's a very professional armature. This armature is made by Edward Huertas, a Spanish very nice guys who make armature, kinetic armature. Let's go to see kinetic armature because they are very, very professional guys for stop motion animation here in Europe, of course. And yes, of course, this is the other puppet I have. This is our other
characters.
Yeah, this is our. Oh my god, the face of this guy.
The extras.
These characters are ball and socket armature inside, some wire, some aluminum wire, but ball and socket is basically for the mouth, for close the mouth over there, and for the neck. And yes, those are all the character around, because in some ways during the story, this character are basically the how can I say this stuff without spoiler the film, you know? Because maybe I don't want to spoiler the story. So this are just other character on the set, okay? But basically, yes, our fully animated puppet, and you find these rewards on the Kickstarter page, of course. So what here talk about our production step. We have pitched this project in the 2018 at the Animarkt pitch session, and also we have pitched this project around Europe in the 2019 We have pitched this project as animation in Republika Czech, Czech Republic, of course. And we have pitched this project at the Cartoon of the Bay here in Italy. And yes, after that, we have started shooting. We was in a very good, positive way to finish the film, but in the 2020, it was the lockdown, the first COVID-19 lockdown. So we was totally stop the shooting, and we don't have start anymore. So we want to start now for finish the film. Hope with this Kickstarter to have the good funds to finish the short film. So basically, this was our background, our production background. It was a several experience with producer collaboration. We have tried to reach fund over there. We have tried to reach fund in our country.
Local funds.
But unfortunately here in Italy, the animation, it's not so much active. The animation work is not so good in some ways, especially for the short film of this kind of target, because yes, maybe
here in Italy there is a market about animation, but it's just a child market.
Yeah.
So this project obviously is not something for child, and financing that project here in Italy is not easy. So even for that, we had searched some co-producer in Europe, even in those pitch session, and right now we are organizing this Kickstarter even for reach the goal and reach all the budget that we need for finish this project.
Yes, I think maybe you have to.
Yes, it's a good way for financing your project.
Yeah,
like
this is
auto-financing.
Of course. Yeah, this is our first experience, of course. We have just to see. But it's just our first experience of Kickstarter. We will see. We will see, of course. And what I have to say about it's when you start a project at the beginning, you have to pay a lot of attention the target you put your project, because when, for example, Playing God is a dark drama in some ways for adult audience, and this is a very difficult market. I think it's a difficult market in Italy. It's a difficult market in Europe in some ways. So you have to pay a lot of attention because, of course, the short film market, in some ways it's good, but at the same time, for this kind of target, I think it's very difficult to find a good producer who want to produce your film, of course, because it's very risky in some ways, because you need a lot of time. We work on this project. We have take 4 years for shooting 7 minutes of this project. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. Of course, during we have work with other projects and blah blah, but it's crazy. 4 years for 7 minutes. Because we want to achieve something
high
different.
quality level of animation.
Yeah. This is what we achieve. So we have to take our time, and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it seems like a mammoth task. Even as we are seeing all the extras that you have in the shelf down behind you, it's really incredible. And also, as you explained, all the acting you had to do for the pixelation part.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how hard your hands must be for posing for that long.
It's crazy.
Yes.
And I'm really scared about the future scene we have to shoot, because I have to take still my body.
Mm-hmm.
And
Your whole body.
I don't know.
So-
we have to find an easy way to
So
do that
we,
because I think it's human. Basically, it's impossible.
So we are thinking about even build a specific armature for his body.
To mimic
So-
his body. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
please save me. I want to take this moment. I want to say,
Yeah.
please save me. I
Either
don't
that
know.
or do a lot of yoga or stretches or I don't know, right?
Yeah, a new frontier about pixelation. guys.
Yeah.
Exactly. So he will be a human being puppets in some way.
I'm at the
Yeah.
Rig
experiment.
and armatures. Yes.
Then it will be a mixed media. It will be a pixelation stop motion short, right?
Yeah, we was really inspired about. I think it's Jan Svankmajer. I think this is
This is our main reference.
Main reference. When I was young, when I was see the first short film about Jan Svankmajer, he's a Czech stop motion authors, really famous. And the triptych of short film like dimension of dialogue, I think, with plasticine and pixelation inside, are totally blow my mind when I was a child. So this is why probably we've started doing this project, inspiring about the style, of course, readapting in a different way, and we want to do something like that, of course.
Okay, we have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
How did you work about the timing of the pre-production of the animation, including the making of the animatic, the timing, the exposure sheets? How did you break down? Could you break down this process for us?
So we first wrote the screenwrite, and after that we collaborate with a very good storyboard artist for make first storyboard, and after that we put this storyboard in animatic, animating all the phase and breakdown more for help me during animation and have some reference for the timing and even of course the expression of the characters. But in some ways we have made something I have to put even some improvisation during my
yes,
animation. Yes.
This is a kind of secret, if you want, because of course in the other project we work basically very strict and schedule about post-production and storyboard. We follow the storyboard at the second, of course.
You heard it first here in Stop Motion MX. This is a first.
yeah. In some ways, yeah, because you know when you work in a video clips or a commercial or maybe in another short film, you have just to stay strict and have some rules about timing, because maybe you have to take 3 minutes of animation in 3 months. So you have to work and have your storyboard, your animatic, and working on that.
Yes, and animatic help you to get a very precise schedule of work. But in that case, in this case, the process is a kind of different process, because it's totally artistic project. It's totally our project. So
without rules.
Without rules in some way. The storyboard, the animatic is not so strict like other work.
Yeah. But basically, we have worked on the animatic, on the screenwriting, storyboard, and animatic. We have take for the pre-production in general. We have take maybe 1 year. 1 year.
1 year for the animatic.
For the animatic, screenwriting,
the
storyboard, pre-production, just like to research the style, because the character are based on a different style of different sculptor, different artists around the world in the history. Like, for example, the Italian sculptor Alberto Giacometti. At the beginning was the first main reference for us. Stanislav Tucholsky, a Polish sculptor, for the style of the body, the shape of the body. And so we have take a lot of artistic research for the character, for the character design, of course. This was really, really, really intense research, the character design, because we want to make the best character design, the best realistic character design, but at the same time, the most expressive character design we can.
And of course, for me, in the pre-production phase, for me there was even a lot of try in animation, because no one teach us how to do this specific match with 3 different techniques.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
even us, we had to try and try and try again. We had tried a lot of time for get this result, this
So
high
it was
quality
a lot
result.
of trial and error.
This was really. Can we make another one, the teaser, another time, because we want to analyze maybe some
Okay,
scene.
can we check the teaser again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For analyze in this way some scene regarding this. Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna run it again.
Yeah. Nice. So because the problem was for some scene for this, of course, is how to achieve this kind of animation, you know? Because the problem was just like, how can a human being interact with the clay character? Of course, this was really crazy to understand, because let me see, maybe I say stop over there in this scene, okay. So in this specific scene, for example, in all of these scenes, sculpture scene, the problem was because this scene is 2 week scene. Maybe this one was.
Yes.
I don't remember. So it's impossible for me to stay 2 weeks totally still on the puppet like this, because I have to drink and I have to eat also, and I have to live in some ways. So the solution was to take off my hand, sculpt the frame, put my hand again, but all the time I have to put my hand again on the puppet.
In the same position.
In the same position. We have to find the same position, and we have to be totally perfect.
Yeah,
but it's not just perfect.
Of your hands.
Yeah, but it's not just perfect with the hands, but we have to calculate this with the camera angle, because we have a lot of perspective scene. And when you put the camera in with a very strong perspective, it's much more difficult to refine the position of the hands. Mm-hmm. So is a kind of a specific combination, like how can I do the best direction of this scene, but at the same time making my life more easily, in the scene. Mm. So it was really crazy. For this reason, it was so difficult to understand with the animatic, because when you go to the set, you start with a lot of complication you don't understand maybe in the animatic.
Yes, we had to have a lot of problems to resolve in some ways. We try a lot to achieve this level of animation, and we found this trick that Matteo told you. We found that with time and try, because in our first animation, obviously we wasn't we had we try in another way, but yes, this was the trick. This was the right trick.
So there is other question about.
Well, I have a question. What was your inspiration for the main character? I mean, I can see that you have you try to make it as neutral as a human being as possible,
Yeah.
but also the aesthetic of the face of your primal character. Where were your
The design.
inspiration from? Yeah, the design of it.
This was the first inspiration, of course, was that we had done a very some research about artists, about face. Of course, our first impression is just like, because something reminds the story about Frankenstein in some ways, and different sculptor. We have see the different style sculptor, like for example, I have just say Alberto Giacometti or Stanislav Bukowski, or some ways Michelangelo. Of course, we have see a lot of the body of Michelangelo here in Italy, and but was another interesting story, because for have the final face of the main character. First of all, we have shooting all the scene where the character where we have created the character, because during the film we have 30 seconds or 40 seconds, I don't remember, of the short film is the moment of creation. And during the creation, we have just created the body step by step in the stop motion. So we have just followed this flow. And at the end of this flow, we have found the character. At the end of this, we have say, oh my God, this is the character. Okay, so everything. It's a organic process. It was.
Mm-hmm.
I see. We have more questions for you guys.
Yeah.
From Oscar Nava, what kind of criteria do you use to define what kind of armatures for your shorts, whether they are mechanical or from aluminium or other materials?
The most strongest is possible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Because the problem was that
to improve the process, right?
Yes, you have to you have to think that, for example, yes, this. Oh my God, this is an example of the main character, and you have to think that inside this there is this armature, this ball and socket armature, but this puppet is totally full of plasticine. So during animation, it's precious to have a smooth movement of the armature. So we must use ball and socket joint and not wire armature, because this is so heavy. No, so
yes, of course. The problem is the plasticine take a lot of strength. It's very difficult to move all this mass of plasticine. Of course, for example, the character are not full of plasticine, but it's just covered on plasticine. Inside there is ball and socket armature with foam for the body, for the mass of the body. For the outside, there is maybe, I think, 5 millimeters or something like 5 or 6 millimeters of plasticine. This is the reason why, because we can have the possibility to move the puppets without the strength of the plasticine, because for example, for the body, this is the armature I've made. It's just 6 millimeters ball and socket joint, but for this size, it's not. It's tiny, see. Yeah.
So we
have
had
just
designed
this.
this armature with Edward Puertas.
Yeah.
And
For
so
moving.
this armature wasn't in his shop, obviously. We designed this armature specific for this character.
The main character over there.
For this character. So this is a original armature designed by us, by Edward Puertas.
So basically, for moving those puppets, we have to understand, and we have to, for example, there is another. This is another little puppets you see. We have a ball and socket joint over there, of course, but because we can move this because the plasticine, you see, if you move the plasticine crack. But we have to, over there is foam for the neck, for example, here. So it's just like is the theory in some ways to making a silicone puppet. This is the same things. It's just to make a silicone puppet, you use the silicone puppets only on the surface. We use plasticine only on the surface.
So depending on the action, the detail of the action is the kind of armature you would use.
Yes, and even we decide this even thinking about if the puppet is full with plasticine or not. This is the
because of the weight, right?
Mm-hmm. This is the difference.
We have done a lot of try, and we have broken a lot of armature, for example, because moving the puppets, moving the plasticine, moving the shoulder, doing this realistic movement, sometimes you just crack the armature because you have put a lot of strength to move the plasticine, to making the smooth movement, for open the shoulder over there, for putting the arm. So sometimes we have preferred to use maybe aluminum wire, a very strong aluminum wire, like 5mm or 6 aluminum wire, because it's much better than a little ball and socket joint, of course.
So guys, you will find this character and those character in a Kickstarter campaign if you want. So
you heard it. Okay, another. We'll have a bunch of questions. Another questions also from Oscar Nava. What was the production phase that was the more complicated for you, that you felt?
This question is for you.
Yes, I think the animation, the part of animation. Yes,
I have to say also producing
the pixelation, right?
Yeah. Okay. I see. Even the production phase. Yes, but for me,
this guys was the most difficult part for all the short film. Found money.
Yes, found money because yes, as I said before, this is a very expensive process, both for money and time. So yes, this project is expensive. So
I think the most difficult, regarding of course the stop motion, the stop motion shooting we talk about, the most difficult scene we have to shoot the most difficult scene. I think we have, for example, like 1.5 minutes crane. A very, 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 very slow crane over there. It's the final scene in some ways. And in those crane there is will be a very crazy animation scene with a lot of animation, a lot of puppets, a lot of acting.
We will have
and we are terrified about this.
No. Yes.
I am terrified about this.
More questions for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, Pamela Resendiz asks, did you guys thought of other ways of financing this project?
Yeah, we have. So we have tried financing. This is, for the most part, this is a self-financed project. So we have spent all our financial. We have work for financing this project in those 4 years in some ways, and we have thought about. We have win two funds here in our city. And we have used in some ways these funds for growing our studio and for of course growing the short film at the same time. And we don't have achieved the cinema fund we have, but we have found money, for example, for improve our business. So we have used this money for improve our animation business and this short film at the same time. And we try the Kickstarter like another kind of financial way to raise the fund of this short film.
So for resuming, we had these two local funds. We won two local funds, but this is our totally independent way to financing our film. So our final try is the Kickstarter campaign for answering this to this question.
Okay.
And work on other project and commercial, of course.
Okay, I see. Another question. This is from Alejandro Esquivel. What are your main influences on animation in stop motion?
Main influences. Okay, our main reference. Of course, Jans van Meyer, for me, for example, and for you.
This is a very complicated question, I guess.
For me, absolutely Jans van Meyer, because he made for me the perfect clay animation ever. For me.
How can I say? Maybe Phil Tippett.
Phil Tippett, yes.
Like a mad god. I see, for example, for the first time, Mad God, the project, development project in 2016, and it was totally wow. Yeah. So maybe playing God is come from Mad God in some ways. Yeah.
Maybe. I can see the resemblance, the inspirations.
Yes, we are big fan.
Yeah, we are big fan. Like yes, because I see a documentary about Phil Tippett when I was young, and yes, I was totally impressed about his career and his story, of course, and his character.
And even for me,
he's definitely Santa Claus.
And even for me, his energy to produce his project, and he was super brave to maintain his idea. Yes.
So basically, it's a mix of Jans van Meyer and Phil Tippett. We can reassume like that.
Yeah, following his dream through the years.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Another
And we want to make the same. We want to make the same with our project.
Hopefully, it will be years for you.
Thank you.
Another question: what kind of plasticine brand do you use? What do you recommend in material?
So, yes, for this project we are using NSP Chavant, which is this one. NSP Chavant, it's...
Take notes, people, take notes.
It's perfect. It's perfect for animation. You can maintain the details very well during animation, and yes, I can obtain a very smooth movement with that because it's made with wax, and yes, it's precious.
I want to show you this.
Considering you have also to manipulate it a lot under the lights, right?
Yes, because it's not so soft. It's a medium. It's yes. Here it's soft, but it's not so soft, and I have to Riscaldare, che dice?
Um,
Like with the phone,
just
hair dryer.
yeah, because it's sometimes
Yes, I have to manipulate it a little bit.
For working, you need to maybe using the I don't know this word in English.
We are missing
Scaldare.
we are missing the word.
But,
in English.
But anyway, it's this kind of plasticine is perfect for a lot of stuff. We use this plasticine for making our maquettes, for making our positive props for the molds. What?
If you want, use the word in Italian that you don't remember in English.
Scaldare.
Scaldare.
It's just being this more
soft.
Softer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Softer, but not as soft. It resists under the lights, right?
Yeah, or putting this in a microwave, for example.
Okay, so you can. Okay, I get it. Okay, so I think we're done here. We have 7 minutes left.
Yeah.
Okay, how long does your Kickstarter campaign? It's open right now, right?
No, our Kickstarter campaign will open Tuesday, 9 November.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, we need it's 4 days, 3 days, or it remains 3 days here in Italy, and yes, we'll start on Tuesday, 9 November, and we'll finish in 10 December. So basically,
1 month.
Yeah, 1 month of campaign. Yes.
Okay.
So it can be interesting maybe talk about a little bit to the preparation of this campaign, because of course we have worked a lot. We have worked a lot on a pre-production phase of this campaign. We have started to thinking about this campaign in February. We are working with for maintaining our social media, because in the meantime we have to work and all this stuff. We work with 2 guys, is a social media manager and a content creator who will help us to maintain our social networks and all this stuff. And we work with associate producer. We are friends. We work in the cinema, so we are kind of collective in some ways. Studio Croma is a company, but we are kind of collective with other guys, with other profession who help us to reach the goal and help us to do that.
To organize the campaign. Yeah. So we had organized 2 months of pre-launch campaign, making a landing page and a newsletter, and communicate this on social network, and preparing some ways our community to wait the launch of the campaign. And in the meantime, we prepare all the rewards for our community and all materials like interview, pictures, and everything we needed to present our project.
So basically we have started in September the pre-launch campaign in some ways. We have started to communicate on Instagram and on Facebook in our social network the project, because it was the first time we published something regarding the Playing God project. And so we have started in July thinking about how content we make, how content we can create for communicate the campaign. And we start thinking about in July, and in September we have started, and in October we have started the pre-launch phase of the campaign. Like we will start in November the Kickstarter, and we are making a mail list, so we have reached some people as possible to interested about the Kickstarter, and we will see. We wait the number
for you guys to get to your economical due.
Yeah.
So we want to thank you, Croma Animation Studios, You can follow them on their social media.
Yeah.
Thank you for participating in Stop Motion MX. Gracias por estar aquí.
Thank you
Pueden
for your
seguirlos en sus
invitation.
redes.
Grazie mille.
Pueden seguirlos en sus
Grazie.
redes y continuamos.
Dobbiamo lasciare.
Sì, dovremmo.